This is Colin Digits. I'm live in the Digitsclub with the UniX crew, two other halves, becoming one big ball of energy. I heard you guys got a new project on board for the Launchpad. Are you allowed to say anything about it?
Yeah, I think Simon can elaborate a little bit.
Yeah,
there's a few new projects.
There's a few new projects. I think the one in question is we are hopefully going to be signing blocks, which I know the Digits, hopefully I know, which is actually a connection from the man Colin Digits himself, and it's going to be an amazing project, an amazing metaverse play, and so hopefully this might be our first launch.
Yeah, because when I heard the date, I was like, well, that's pretty soon. I was like, they're taking some risk there with the current market conditions. What do you think about that?
Do you know what it is? I said that to them as well, but what we thought about when we sort of look, their project is about other already established projects. So obviously, as you know more than anyone, Colin, it's about NFT projects which are already established. It's a metaverse for these projects, almost to replace Discord in a way, or a more animated and interactive Discord. So because of that fact, because it relies on other established projects, you know what? It should work, and it could work, and it could be amazing, to be honest with you. I really believe in the project.
They raised so much fucking money as well anyway, right? I think the public round is only $500,000.
Yeah. The public round is not much. They've raised loads at private and seed.
Simon, have they set a date?
And got some great people behind it as well. 29th of June is what I've been led to believe is going to be around there, and they've got a KuCoin listing as well lined up.
Oh wow! Was you allowed to mention that bit?
Maybe cut that bit out. No, I should be allowed to mention that. I mean, it's all right to mention it.
No. He did tell us on the first call as well, and he didn't say that we were not allowed to spread it, but I just didn't spread it because it's kind of sensitive information, you know?
All right, maybe cut that bit out.
Too late now.
This is a risk warning from UniX Gaming and the Spaghetti Brothers live. Anything Simon says is not investment advice and maybe not be true. All right, just for all the listeners listening. And he is currently at an over 60s barbecue, so if decoration is running, please don't judge us on that. Okay, we're saving money at the minute.
What would these people say? Are you just like, I just need to go on these YouTuber guys talk about some crypto for like?
You know what? No, I don't go into that much detail. I just say, listen, I got to take a call. Where can I go? And everyone's in the garden, and I just left them to it. I've just left them to it. I haven't chucked them out of the room. Yeah, they're in the garden. It's slightly warmer.
It's good weather though. I mean, it's great weather for a barbecue. I know in Dubai you always got the amazing weather, but London, UK is a nightmare.
It's a nightmare, man. This is very few occasions we get to enjoy it.
What is the weather like in London side at the moment? All good?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm here on Google Meet. I wish I could have enjoyed it. Do you know what I mean? But Google Meet's
I walked to the gym. I was talking to Sean for like 40 minutes while I was on the fucking Stairmaster. But I walked to the gym and it's like so good out. Very slight breeze, about 21 degrees. It's perfect. Not the fucking bare heat of the Sahara Desert where you are.
It's perfect. And it's the Jubilee this weekend. It's the Queen's Jubilee. So everyone's off. It's Thursday, Friday, bank holiday. The country's crazy right now, Andy.
But you won't notice it because you're stuck with your computer.
I'm stuck in an office.
That's right.
I ain't got the luxury of going to a barbecue. It's currently 7 p.m. I'm still at the office. Things we do for Mr. Digits, up and coming influencer of the year.
That's how it's supposed to be.
That influencers are actually, bringing some good, useful tech to the market, not just researching, doing the same old boring stuff.
I got a message today. We got such big things now happening. You know, when it's the right place, the right time, you just got to be patient. People are impatient. I'm impatient, but I'm trying to become more patient. And now it's just brewing. It's going to be amazing.
What are you allowed to share, Colin, about the exciting things that you're
Simon,
doing?
Before he does share anything, we introduced him to somebody the other day just to get a second opinion on something. And the guys messaged me and just said, wow, what he's actually got going on there is absolutely amazing. A few connections, and they've all said the same thing. Colin is going straight to the top, hence why we're putting so much effort into this relationship, Colin. So you can put it up with you.
I appreciate it. I wrote it down in my little black book.
the people you won't forget. Do you know what I mean? When you're at the top.
No, it's true. I appreciate it. Obviously, everything you guys have done so far, and it's like cool to see it unfold. You know, you've been waiting on it, you've been brewing, specifically with our audience as well. Like this week, we gave a little bit more of a sneak peek behind everything that's going on. Because obviously, if you're just participating, it's like me. So this is the market sentiment where I was in like 2017, when it's like everybody was basically at like the top of the hill, and all of a sudden just the floor was swept below them, and it's like you just fall, keep falling, and everything was just gone. I remember I lost like 85% of my total holdings in like a matter of like 2.5, 3 weeks. And that was like the first big lesson. And a lot of people are learning that lesson right now, right? Which is
I'd say the biggest lesson for me is when Bitcoin was on the rise. And well, first time Bitcoin was brought to me, I was working in the city, and the kid opposite said to me, he said, and how much are you earning each month? I said, none of your business. He went, you have to invest at least 10K into Bitcoin. I said, Bitcoin, what's that? It sounds awful. And then it was approached me again at 2014. And then by 2017, you know, Bitcoin was on the way up. And I remember going on to Poloniex, and I bought XRP, I bought Bitstamp, and I think I bought Bitcoin. And I just remember watching it go all the way up to the top. I must have bought it about 3/4 up. Then I see it plummet the whole way down. And I thought, okay, but I like the look of this. And that was it. That was when I officially went down the rabbit hole. And then I think it was about a 2-year crypto winter. And that was it. The minute it started to come back,
yeah, we just got to be patient. I mean, I was at my parents' house the other day. They had like an old desktop computer of mine there. I was like, let me hook it up. So I hooked it up. There's a MetaMask on it. And I was like, here we fucking go. The only coin still alive in that MetaMask, there were like 60, 70 coins from 2017. Swissborg was the only ICO that did that survived the crypto winter.
Colin, let's not talk about
Swissborg.
Let's not talk about Swissborg, because at the minute, you know, Simon, we're doing everything we can to really sweeten them guys up, because the other half of the Spaghetti Brothers, everybody, he's not too sharp around the West. And this was the second occasion. Yeah, he's tried to.
It's the first occasion. The second, no. It's the first occasion.
I heard
you said my code. Hold on. I asked you for an ERC.
Go on. You give your version, and I'll give my version.
Or Coco swap, and then you give me your Binance USDC, which Binance doesn't support Coco, and then I lost 5K.
Well, okay, so let me just tell you what Andy said to me was, send me an ERC address. I sent him an ERC address. But he didn't tell me. Get it out. But he didn't tell me, send me an ERC address, which is MetaMask. And I was new. I was like a beginner at crypto. You know what I mean? He misled me.
You're my little brother. I can't take it. What can I do? You know, you're the little Spaghetti. I can't do anything.
Number one Spaghetti. What I'm trying to say is, he misled me. He said send an ERC address. I did. It went to the wrong place. But what's happened with
Swissborg? He keeps bringing it back every single time.
What happened with Swissborg, Si?
Right. What happened with Swissborg is, look, Swissborg, man. Basically, I sent by mistake $6,000. I sent it to Swissborg, and I sent it with the BSC, using the BSC network rather than the ERC. And they've basically said to me that they won't give me. They're kind of not really saying they're going to give it back. They're saying, "Oh, we can't solve this problem at the moment." That's that.
So, do you know what that is?
What's that?
That is the world's smallest violin. Yeah, playing.
Listen, times are tough out here, man.
That's karma for what you've done to me with the Coco token.
Well, you'll make that mistake once, and then you'll never make it again. Now, every single time, you'll make sure you're sending it to the right chain.
I've got a question for you, but first, I just want to tell you the worst event we've ever had, me and Simon in crypto. So we've had a few, bro. Which is this? We're raising some money for you.
Oh my God!
We've got Da Vinci. You've got all of the influencers on there. Anyway, I've got my ear. I'm listening to everything. Anyway, it comes up Cadena, yeah, and I go Cadena. I said, tell me a little bit more. So a few tequilas later, they're like, look, trust me, push all in on Cadena. It was 80 cents. Listen, it was at 80 cents. So
I got this confirmed last time. It was at 97 cents. Yeah, almost $1.
So
thank you, Colin.
I don't quite have signal. The effort I go to get signal on my phone, we're out at sea. We pull the boat in. I get signal. I go, Si, push it all
He
in.
took control of the ship. He took control of the ship. Yeah,
Took control of the ship.
The captain off board, and he yeah.
And he said to me, "And this just looks like Cardano, but worse. Are you sure this is just not a Cardano ripoff?" I went, "Sire, push in." Cut a long story short, he never pushed in. 2 months later, we're at $20.
All right. Do you want the real
maybe
version?
I have a question for you, Mr. Thomas. Why is it always that other people have to monitor your money? You can't make any transactions on your own.
This is a very good point. This is an incredibly good point.
I'll tell you
Very
why.
good point. And by the way, I actually said to him in the Texas, I said, it sounds like dodgy Cardano, but are you sure? And he went off. He went off carrying having tequilas and went off, and that was it. So I was ready to go. But
this guy is busy 24/7. We know he likes everything crypto, right? So when he tells you, "Hey, I got something real cool for you," you need to follow up, or it's gone.
Colin, I've had a few tips, and yeah, I'm just having a little bit of a bad run lately. I ain't really been investing too much, but the Goblin NFT come out the other day. I'm trying to buy them at 2.8 ETH on MetaMask. I was in a restaurant, someone was leaving, and yeah, I woke up the next day, 2.8 ETH. They was at 6 point something ETH. I was trying to buy 3 or 4 of them. Yeah, so not a good week.
The guy who's in the chat on this AMA right now, he posted it in Digitsclub, I think at 0.35 ETH. 0.35 ETH.
Mirko had them at 0.7. Colin, I've got one quick for you. For any new person that's just come into crypto, they come across the Digitsclub, how would you simply break down your ecosystem? I'm just going to close that door because they're getting extremely loud. So how would you break down your ecosystem? So I've always been a big lover of your ecosystem. Your alpha group's tremendous, and I love what you've done for your community. You are a community
Just
man.
in simple terms, somebody asked me that yesterday, and I really had to think about it because it is quite difficult. We really should focus on narrowing it down, make it easy to understand. Basically, to make the right choices, right, when it comes to crypto, you need information. That's the foundation. You provide information. Once you have made your choices and made your picks, you obviously need to keep track of those picks. Sometimes you can do this with CoinMarketCap, but where do you keep track of the things that are not live yet? We offer this through Track Digits, right? But if you have the information and you have the access to unique opportunities, you would have double the gains. And we offer these unique opportunities through DigitsPad. So now all these companies always require you to stake, right? Like UniX, which is not really a bad thing. But what would happen if you would basically hold an NFT, get rewards on that NFT? It wouldn't cost you any additional thing. And you also don't have the risk of depreciation, right? And then utilize everything. That would be a dream if only somebody would design a system like that.
And how far are you away from all of this becoming a reality? So
I just spoke with the dev team, quite far apparently. No, no. I mean, right now what they're building is, so we have all the assets already. So the DigitsPad is ready, Track Digits is ready, Digitsclub is ready, and the Treasury is ready. 4 products. So now we're connecting everything to the mainframe. So before we were going to basically say each product is a standalone product, which is cool, right? But so I'm going to give you some alpha here nobody knows, because there's
Colin, will you just break down the 4 products again, just for the people that don't quite.
Digitsclub.
Yep.
Track Digits.
Track Digits.
DigitsPad. Digits Treasury. Look, maybe I can show you something that is a little bit behind the scenes, because then you can also. Oh, this is so nice, guys. This is so nice. It's good to do a little screen share. Then Andy, you can take a screenshot.
How big is the team that's running all of this, Colin?
You see this?
Very slick.
Very slick.
Cool, yeah?
Wow, very nice. Wow.
There you go. Where's the Spaghetti Brothers logo?
Where's my logo on UniX? Don't get me started. Don't get me started on that.
If it was the Spaghetti Brothers website, we'd have it on there. We haven't got one yet. That's all.
I'll put. Isn't it like pornup.com Simon with the small willy?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. My old career.
No,
Colin,
I
I'll
mean,
tell you
like,
what I'll do. If there ever is a Spaghetti Brothers logo on your website, if we ever do go down that route, I promise you now to your community, there will be a picture somewhere on my body of Colin Digits' face, a tattoo, a real one, lifelong, a lifelong
Wow.
tattoo.
Wow. That's a big
you know
promise.
that's being recorded, right?
Wow.
So now I'm going to make it my life's mission to give you like an insane deal to incorporate Spaghetti Brothers, and then I'll just wait.
I'll put it right there.
Yes,
So yeah, so we've got 4 components. So if I was a user, a brand new user coming into crypto and he needs support, they're going to come into the Digits ecosystem. Roughly, how much is it going to cost us as a new user to really come on board, you know, receive the information, utilize the pad, the software, the tech? And
but the great thing is you can basically get started for free, right? You can come into the Digitsclub. There's not a big free section, but there is free information. So we're basically expanding soon, which is like after the agent mint, with some like free courses, like that kind of stuff to educate people for free. Just because that's usually what we've done in the past as well. And it's just a good experience for everybody. But one thing that is super important, which nobody knows yet, which I will announce on a major announcement next week, but I see on the people that are attending this call, is the real supporters, right? The real supporters. So you will be allowed to sell your points as well, which is obviously huge because now you can buy and sell points. So apart from the utility itself, there's like a huge other spectrum. So basically somebody for $10 could experience the ecosystem. While you can also have, so it's like a step ladder, right? The first step is free for everybody. You can have a look around, you can see things, you can talk with the people. And then the higher you go, the more perks you get. So somebody with, let's say, who's an accredited investor will have access to a VC, right? Somebody who's not an accredited investor will have access to DigisPad, where there will be lower risk opportunities. Well, even like crypto opportunities still carry some significant risk, but the VC is like beyond the scope where we would do the research for you, basically.
Yeah, amazing.
But it should be accessible. Basically, it's designed to be accessible, and it's not basically designed to just, because there's already too many whale opportunities, right?
Yeah.
Preferably, you would offer it to, let's say, 30, 50,000 people, the ecosystem, and not to 100 people. If you want to do 100 people, just go to a VC and then come with a briefcase full of money, and they will give you all the opportunities you want. But I assume
can't
if
think
you
of
would
any...
have a lot of money, you get those opportunities anyway, right, Andy?
Correct. Mr. Digits, let me ask you another question. What about for your crypto natives? What about for the people that are impatient and they see that everything you're offering is such good value for money, and they just want to get started straight away with everything, with Attract Digits?
Where are all these questions going, Andy?
I'm just asking. If I want to get involved and I want to be at the highest tier, what can I expect to? What will I expect to pay for the highest tier NFTs when they're released?
Well, the agents, basically, the nice thing is we remove the tiers on the agents, the rarity. So basically, an agent yields a certain amount of points, and based on how long you stake it, it can yield more points, right? So obviously, you get rewarded for your loyalty. However, they're also stackable. The thing is, there's only a limited supply. So I can't answer your question properly because most people don't know that information just yet. We haven't disclosed it, right? However, it is definitely, well, the pre-sale price was 0.99 Ethereum, right? So I think the biggest holder holds a very significant amount of these, which is not me, right? So nobody from the team has access to any of the agents. But it's like, it's an individual I didn't know beforehand who was like really bullish on the ecosystem. And he holds a large portion. But yeah, to answer your question, I think you can make it as crazy as you want. With one agent, you can experience the ecosystem. And as you grow as an individual, as a participant in the crypto space, you could always acquire more agents. However, at that point, they are obviously subject to market conditions. So if the floor is high, you would have to buy an entry at a high price. If the floor is low, you can get them for cheap. However, I've been discussing specifically this week the internal economy. So we use this tool called, what all the VCs use. It's called mechanism.io, something like this, where you basically simulate the economy. It's been an awful experience. It's like so difficult. But basically we run the economy over and over again. Like you remember the sheet that I showed you with our economy, but now it's like real time with the points and everything. So especially if you're going to buy and sell points, it's like an amazing opportunity for everybody. However, it needs to be balanced. And that's why I think we make the difference. When I look at, for example, you have a Neo Tokyo citizen, right? It's basically the exact same thing, but they fucked it up because they didn't have the utility nor the understanding of the economy. So they are dealing with inflation. The price of bytes keeps going down, which means the floor price, which is attached to the price of bytes, keeps going down, right? And they don't have an issue, they don't have an opportunity to fix it, unfortunately, because it's too late to fix it, right? Right now they're doing damage control. Everything is taking a very long time, and they will never, or at least unlikely, get back to the 70 ETH floor that it once was, because the reputation is ruined.
So you don't think there's no way back for Becker and Elio?
What's the current floor on what's the current floor on
4.5 ETH?
Ooh, wow, that's a full.
But basically, they're restructuring the tokenomics of bytes. So depending on what that will look like, but I saw the announcement. They did an announcement 2 hours ago in Neo Tokyo. It's not looking that good. So they have a lot of people obviously talking shit, but you can see it's not the main priority. It's not Elliot's even 5th priority. He has all kinds of other things going on. They should just hand this project over to somebody else, but they don't want to because it's a good brand ultimately, right? But everybody who asks me, should I get into Neo Tokyo? The answer is fuck no, unless you're building a crypto project. I'm in there, and my advisor for Digits is from the Neo Tokyo group, right? One of the main guys. Our connections with the partners we'll roll out for the agents are all guys from Neo Tokyo building their projects, and they're really amazing projects. But if you need to hire people, go to Neo Tokyo, you find them, right? But let's say you're just a regular crypto investor. They don't talk about day trades. They talk a little bit about NFTs, but it's all about building. So you're going to spend 5 Ethereum on an NFT and then read these mad complicated chats about Solidity and Rust and everything. And you're like, what is this kind of group? And there's a lot of shit talking of Moon Boys, of course. But yeah, it's definitely a lot different than what I expected it to be. It's even better than what I expected it to be. I love it, right? I think it's one of the best projects, specifically because there's no official team. It's all running on volunteers,
right?
Which I think makes it amazing. But at the same time, it could be the next big thing in crypto was managed properly. And that's basically my focus. I know the Digits products are amazing, right? The team is great, but if the economy is not balanced, what do you truly have? Just a bunch of thrown together products, which then we just separate them, it would be fine. But you want that synergy, right? You know, I went into the UniX dashboard with the team today. You got like the staking, the governance, all these different options. Why are you putting them together? For the user easy to navigate, right? It's the synergy of all these components where most of these companies, they have them like separate. Why would you have them separate? Makes no sense. That's why I think it's great. DAOmaker was doing the launchpad thing, killing it. Now they're going into yield farming. It's the expansion of their business model. It only makes sense. But a lot of these companies, then you see so many of these crypto projects, just like one thing. It's just so risky, right? And the question is, how long will they survive?
Wow, I've had the opportunity of meeting Hatu from DAOmaker, and I'll tell you what, he's one of the most knowledgeable people I've ever met in crypto. It really was nice to speak to him, but he's been in the industry since I think 2016, 17. He started with a company called Block, I believe, and then he started DAOmaker beginning of January 2019, and I think as a launchpad, probably been the best launchpad of all time. We're very lucky to be able to partner with him. You know, all that experience he's got. It's just going to stop us making all of the mistakes that he's made, if he made any over the last 4 years. But while we're talking about NFTs, favorite NFT projects, like I bought a couple of mutants with Mirko. I told him to sell at 40 ETH. I said, Mirko, listen, this land sale, the land sale that's going to happen, we might as well get out of these mutant apes and then buy the land sale on a secondary market. But Mirko's so busy, he didn't get round to doing it. I think the mutants went down again to 16, I think near enough where we paid. and they've just bounced up. But Bored Ape Yacht Club, do you think Yuga has nailed it? Do you think, would you agree that Yuga Labs is like the Bitcoin of the NFT world with Bored Apes, CryptoPunks, Meebits?
What do you reckon, CryptoPunks or Bored Apes? What would you rather have?
None. I could get them, but I don't want them. That's the whole thing. So the thing is, I learned like basically from the Web2 world not to bet on the market leader because they will not stay the market leader, specifically in a new industry, right? So the thing is, if you, they will make mistakes, right, and it will cost them money. So you can ride the wave, but you would have to take profit. If your goal is to invest into a Bored Ape and to hold it for infinity and beyond, you're going to cry because at some point it will go to zero, or at least no longer appreciate, right? And there will be like spin-offs, etc. Because now they're going into a metaverse, which is not a metaverse, it's just a video game, right? They call it a metaverse, which is like an interoperable game, right? Between like collections.
Yeah.
If you talk about like the definition of a metaverse, which like they want it to be, it's going to take 15 years before we're at that level, right? So I do understand they use like these buzzwords. I think you guys number one, and they will stay number one for a while. But specifically, if you look at the intellectual property terms and conditions made by Animoca brands, that is what you should put focus on. Not on the NFT, not on the floor price, but how they regulate the intellectual property. Because you, from all the collections past Bored Ape Kennel Club, you own the NFT, but not the intellectual property anymore. So in that case, you sign off your rights. It's dumb.
Yuga Labs, Yuga have given the commercial rights to Punks and Bored Apes to the holders. Because one thing I would say is I know somebody who minted on the mint, but he bought a very low price, 4 Bored Apes, and one of them he got was a suit. So the suit was worth at 1.500 Ethereum, and the other 3 he held on to. But when the token come out, he got airdropped 40, I believe it was 40,000 Bored Ape Yacht Club tokens, sold them at $15 each. Because the 2 mutants I got, they give me 2,000 Bored Ape Yacht Club tokens per one. Plus, I believe he got airdropped a mutant when the mutant collection come out, and he's got the commercial rights to the Bored Apes as well, because we just bought a CryptoPunk, and we've got the commercial rights to that as well.
It's down quite a bit though, isn't it?
Not as much as the Tokyo.
Why are you so salty today, Simon? You really got it out for me today.
Wow, I know.
I mean, after the Cadena story, you know what I mean? After the Cadena, you know what I mean? That's what I have to, you know.
There's been plenty
No,
more.
the thing.
We could have a show.
We could have a show, Colin, for sure.
We could have a show dedicated to Simon's mistakes in crypto.
And how hold on. Spaghetti Brothers mistakes in crypto.
I think the values are a good learning process overall anyway, right? But for the most part, like all these CryptoPunks, the muted apes, the Azukis, in my personal opinion, right, apart from business, because from a business point of view, I love what these guys are doing, right? I see how they're building these businesses, and I think it's amazing. From a personal investor point of view, I think people are overexposing themselves to assets they cannot risk losing on, right? So the amount of people I talk to where I'm like, okay, what's your portfolio value? 460K. What's your net worth? 480K. You're a cunt. Done, right? So dumb. Like you can lose 20% of your wealth in like a day, if not more. And I'm like, you're just talking with somebody who likes to play with pictures. That's very different from investing, right?
Yeah.
I do get the whole degen stuff, and it's cool and all, but still, when the best thing I've ever done, right, when I made a big buck, is I went to the bank. I had to pay $150 to get $100,000 cash. Yes, I went to my house, threw it in the air, then I started counting it bill by bill, and then I brought it back to the bank. If you realize once how much money that actually is, right? 100K, that's a full suitcase full of money in $10 bills, right? It's insane. Like this stack, right, in $10 bills is only like maybe 4,000, 5,000. It's like a huge amount of money. And then you basically respect the money and what the money can do.
You know what? I think you're right, because I think people sometimes forget when something's 20, 50, 100 ETH, oh, it's almost fantasy money. It's not real. And then when you actually get it into your house, you realize this could buy a house, this could buy this, could buy that. It's
right.
very different.
It's also the part that I like. So I'm not going to only talk shit about it, right? Because I used to play heavy video games, and my whole thing was playing the auction house. So I used all kinds of software to manipulate auction houses, buy and sell goods. That's all I did. Accumulate more in-game gold. That was the whole thing I was playing that game for. And now I'm doing it on OpenSea with real money. Same shit, undercutting people by 1% or 0.1%, right?
Yeah.
And just buying something and then selling it for more money. That's like my favorite thing. But at the same time, sometimes I'm like, maybe I shouldn't spend all my money on pictures and buy some more property.
What's been your best NFT story where you've gone in and bought low, sell high? Colin, when was it? Can you remember the first time it come around and you thought, wow?
Well, I did a really strategic approach on imposters from Elliot. That was really good, but I fucked up that money on Terra Luna. So I made about 48K on that flip. And then I spent it all on Luna and got fucked. But it was really good because I have 3 Neo Tokyo citizens. So I got 3 whitelists, right? Then I had 1 pool shark from Super Farm. So I got another whitelist. And then I won another whitelist in Neo Tokyo. So I got 5 whitelist spots. I could mint 2 in the pre-mint. And then on the actual mint, it was like very quickly sold out, but I minted with 3 additional wallets, just very quick, go, go, go.
Wow.
So I think I had like 14 of them. And this time I sold before the reveal, and basically I sold at the top. If you put all the graphs on top of one another of all the big 10K collection mints, you can just basically see at, I think, 6.5 hours before reveal, that's always the top. So you just wait on the timer and you just sell, no emotion, don't look at the floor price, just sell on that level. People pick them up, and then as soon as the reveal happens, bang, it goes down. And what are the odds? The thing is, people like to gamble. That's the whole thing, right? So when you have a 10K collection with 10 one-of-ones, they actually think that they would be able to obtain a one-of-one. It's true. There are odds that you could, but I think you better play roulette in the casino if you're that kind of guy.
I agree.
Because again, we're there to make money and not to just play with pictures.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I'm not a collector. I'm not an NFT collector. I don't give a fuck about any of these NFTs because most of them don't have utility, right? So for me, I'm sitting on some NFTs, and most of them I would just flip in a heartbeat if the price is high enough.
Yeah.
You was the one who got me back into the Neo Tokyo group when I was speaking to you. I think you was flipping quite a lot at the time. You was doing very, very well.
Yeah, I still have some of the really, really rare assets, which then again, I need to wait for the redemption. That's again a lesson learned, right? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I'm happy that I didn't, because I would get real fucked. Because my idea before was to create a byte farm, right, with different assets. I'm so happy I didn't push on with that, because then I would get ruined right now. But I did see the new tokenomics. So to mint a land before was 1,500 bytes, they changed it to 5,000 bytes, while a character is still 2,000 and it was 2,000 before. So they increased the land price almost by 4 times. And who has an omnipresent land? Me.
Well done. Talking to Terra Luna, me and Simon come back from Singapore. Well, we went to Singapore, and you recommended me one of the nicest restaurants, or the nicest restaurant I went to.
Yeah, remember what it's called?
Oh, I can't remember. It was called, I remember there being a lot of cinnamon. No, hold on, what was it called?
Oh, yeah, almost.
Cinnamon spice.
Which one was this?
What was it called?
Coriander leaf.
Coriander leaf. That was it. You go upstairs. The restaurant was absolutely beautiful. But yeah, that was quite an event. The Singapore trip, wasn't it, Si?
It was supposedly supposed to meet Do Kwon, and on the morning we were supposed to meet him. The world falls apart. So
sad. What do you think about the Luna 2.0?
I think I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I don't think you can trust him ever again. I don't think would you feel safe putting your money into that something?
Well, if Andy, if Simon is saying it's a shit project, should we put in 100 grand?
Guys, for anyone who's listening, if Simon's not buying it, buy it today. And that's a pretty sure bet. And that's what we've been through. But yeah, they reckon 90 to 100 billion in losses across the board. 12 times worse than Lehman Brothers.
Yeah, it's good for crypto. I think it's really good for crypto. It's like, it brings you back to reality, what we just spoke about, right?
Yeah.
This is what will bring innovation This is what will also show the risk that people are exposing themselves to. And also it's good for the builders that now, for example, you can even, it goes, so because of the crash, it pushed the bearish market sentiment more bearish, right?
Yes.
One of the things that you see on the launch pads is now that when they do a raise, most of the launch pads, the vesting is paid out relative to the raise as well. So the project doesn't get the raise, they get the raise relative to the vesting schedule. So they also get drip fed the raise, basically. Those are all contingencies that were not in place before, which allow people to rug. And right now with the sentiment and they want to see longevity on the project, there is like more and more regulation. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I fully agree with what you said. I thought we was in a bear market probably a month before the Terra Luna crash, but yeah, that just definitely confirmed it. But
I think long term would be a good thing. Long term, and what's your guesses for how long this bear market or
everybody's November, December? We speak to VCs all the time.
We speak to
If you look at all-time high, November the 10th last year, 2.9 trillion. It was on a sharp decline just after when UniX launched, and I think now we're at 1.25 trillion. I see us going through the summer. If we can get out of this, or the upward trend starts anytime from October, November, December, we speak to a lot of well-known, influencer traders, a lot of the big VCs. Some of the VCs are saying worst case, it's a 2 year, another 2 years. I wouldn't like to think it's going to be 2 years from the general consensus of everybody we're speaking to, but I'd like to see an upward trend from December, January this year.
And I mean, it won't matter because we're going to keep building, but what would you reckon, Colin, in your sort of opinion? I know it doesn't bother you
I'm
either.
probably the worst person to ask because one, I don't know anything about these things. And two, it would just be like a random guess. I haven't looked into it just because basically I don't care. When it happens, right? The most important thing for me is that when it happens, the ecosystem should be in place to take advantage of the upward trend. That's like the most important thing for me. So every time you still need to be on top of it. And I think that's the great thing. It's also a good thing that most of the competition gets wiped out because they don't have funding, right? But this, if it would last 2 years, then we don't have a problem. I know UniX likely doesn't have a problem, but there's a lot of companies that I've seen guys that put like their company funds in Anchor protocol, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's risky. Like if you did 10% of your holdings, okay, I understand. But if you put in like 100% of it, that's like gambling.
Yeah, look at Hashed. They've got a 4 billion fund. Rumors are they lost 3.5 billion of it. But then I spoke to someone who said, yeah, but they was in from seed at 10 to 20 million. So they made all the money from Terra Luna anyway. And they lost about 3.5 billion. But yeah, I know that, I think I heard, rumor has it that Jump Trading, their market maker, lost hundreds of millions trying to defend the peg. So yeah, I think that will, that'd be one of the events that we look back on and go like, where was you when, Terra
definitely.
But you know what was worse? The worst thing was I actually didn't have any money in the ecosystem at the time, but me and Simon had planned that, right, let's go and meet Do Kwon, like, let's go and get the interview done for Entrepreneur. And then we'll place some money in the ecosystem. Because I've liked what Do Kwon done from Chai Payments. I like the way that he'd set up the whole ecosystem. And I thought, this is going to be the year for the algo stable coins. But I was looking at Tron. I've never been a big lover of Tron. But they was going to put 10 billion behind USDD, I believe, their algo stable coin. And that was going to be paying out 30%. And I believe NEAR was going to be doing at the end of the month. So USDD from Tron was meant to come out a few days after. Then USN from NEAR was meant to come out at the end of the month. And we thought, right, this is the year for the algo stable coins. Everything else will be pretty quiet. Let's push in there, wait for the bear market to kick in, on the way out, pull out, pick up the games that you can still get good value for money at seed and private. And then crypto is all about timing. When we go into the bull market, you can make some real big money. But I've not even heard if USN's gone live site or USD.
Nah, I haven't heard about it. Literally, it's gone quiet.
Yeah. So both them ecosystems now would have really suffered on the DeFi side of things. But yeah,
I think DeFi's taken a bit of a hit though, right? DeFi is going to take a little bit of a hit naturally, and like Colin said, this is an opportunity as well as it might maybe hurt him personally. It's an opportunity for a lot of the rubbish to be cleared out, And the longer it goes on for, the
And the
longer.
builders keep building. So what
That's
I've
right.
been told last week is that somebody got a promotion with a special shiny title to it. Did you hear, Andy?
Just to let everybody know, yeah, when I met Simon and pulled him into crypto, he was washing cars before this. And he went from head of partnerships, but he done an awesome job. And if I could only tell the
Colin, you know that's how me and Andy met. You know, he was at a traffic lights and I was washing his windows. That's how we met. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you offered him a little something.
And I went like that. I goes, "How much, mate?" I goes, 1 minute. I done the window down and I went in my pocket like that. And then I went, and I drove off really fast. No, yeah, he did get a promotion, Chief Business Development Officer, but, you know, Simon...
That's quite a long title. I think he sent me, I said, that's too long. Can you send me a shorter version? And he sent me CRO.
No, yeah, I could say something that's not really appropriate for this. Yeah, but he was responsible, you know, for the crypto banter relationship. And since then, this week, you know, he's spoken to a couple of people that are part of the banter family, Hustlepedia and Miles. Yeah.
I watched the crypto banter guy, the main guy, the Ryan dude, for the first time.
Ryan.
I thought it was boring. It's really for beginners, no?
No,
I think it's a great place to start.
It's like more entertainment than information.
Do you know what?
I'm big fans of them. I think they get the line right between community and giving you great tips and being a good place for you to start your sort of journey. But like, and I'm not just saying this because I'm talking to you, Colin. Most influencers, except for yourself, where you're actually getting good value, it's a good place to start, right? But you can't take everything they say and then you have to go deeper. So
well,
I think
like the Miles
is a great
guy.
place to
He's
start.
also from crypto banter, no?
He's awesome.
We spoke to him this week.
Guy.
He's an awesome kid.
I like the Miles guy. The way how he explains things, it's like
it's
a little less chilly, a little bit more natural. Yeah, I like his content better.
For his age, he has got a great life ahead of him because he's very, very switched on.
How old is he?
21.
Simon was at a party. Yeah. He looked. Miles and Simon look like before crack and after crack.
Before crypto and after crypto, mate. It's worse.
Tell him the story about, someone said that Miles was at a party with Simon and then out of nowhere, he just was talking about crypto, DeFi to everybody.
Yeah, this is the story that I was told. It wasn't someone was speaking to him and all of a sudden he just turned to the person on his right and he started talking about APYs and DeFi. Like he thinks about DeFi that much. The guy is unbelievable. He's smart as anything. He's switched on. But he loves DeFi. So we were talking to him this week. We were talking to some huge VCs. I don't know if we can say their names or not. But
what were they all saying? They was all after the same thing. They was looking at big infrastructure plays and digital identity. Yes. Like we're advising on a project. I can't really mention it yet, Colin, but we'll mention it to you in the not too distant future. But it's all about digital identity. We spoke to the team at JP Morgan Onyx. They was really going on about it. We spoke
digital identity, like for example, gamer tags.
Well, yeah, this is.
You only sent it to me 2 times already. I've already looked at it.
Yeah, I've already sent it to you. Okay. I do apologise.
I'm saying about Cadena. You see what I'm saying about Cadena? There's always
hard. If you are listening to this, I didn't send it to anybody. I promised before you kick. I've not signed my advisory contract yet. But digital identity just works the same as the
But you're on the cap table, so. Below the cap table on the pitch deck that you sent me.
Oh God, you're going to get me in all sorts of trouble here. But like ENS and Unstoppable Domains, just having your...
Yeah, I think it's cool. No, I watched it. I liked it. Can we talk about it or not?
Yeah, we could talk a little bit about it. So the project is going to be, just like ENS and Unstoppable Domains with your name, but this name can be used amongst all of the games that have signed up. So this will be your gamer tag across all games and across all chains.
So would they be able to sign something like PlayStation or Xbox or something like this? Because then it would be fucking huge, right? It's like the next big thing.
If it Web3 requires a wallet and then your gamer tag, as long as they've signed up the contract and implemented the tech into the game. But the best thing about the project, Colin, is he's built it out. It's already paid for. He's literally just being offered now. Look, choosing his lead investor, like they've built it out, it's all ready. But another great advisor of ours turned around and said, don't just focus on the gaming aspect and the fact that you can send crypto to and from, and you've got your own personalized name on there. Like, really look at the social apps that are going to be coming into Web3 and utilize that identity on there. And also, how cool would it be if you could actually attach a messenger service to it as well, so that you could, send funds, message through a name, and then plus use that same name in all the games, all the social apps online. And then I think, there's no stopping a project like that. And I believe he does want to speak to you next week, Colin.
Where's the company from?
The guy works for a very well-known exchange. I won't say that on here, but just in case I already potentially going to get kicked
maybe
off.
not. Don't say that. Yeah.
No, but I mean, like, where's he from? Like, the country he's from?
Oh, he's been in.
Because you're like from Scotland, yeah.
Yeah, my taxi. My taxi's here. Yeah, lovely to meet you in the Digits community. He's actually Lebanese English. He's lived in England for a long time, but he's worked for one of the biggest exchanges in the world. So
he with you in Dubai right now?
So he works with either Binance, Kraken, or Coinbase. I'm not going to say which one, in case he doesn't want me to say. I'll give you a few options. But yeah, he's a great guy. He's out here with his brother at the moment. I think they're going to be going back to London at some point. But the project's great. We've got a few great projects that we're advising and pushing. Vigilance of 2099, you know about. The digital.
What is the status on that game?
The status on that game is they've just picked up their advisors. They've just got their couple of lead investors that have come on board. And now that's
Are you in need of non-lead investors?
Are we in need of
non-lead investors?
Oh, sorry. They've got a lead investor, and now they've had loads of offers. I think at the minute they're just working out who they exactly want on the table.
They've got a couple which are penciled in, and there's a load more which we have to.
Who's in charge of that project?
Nahid and the CEO. What was the CEOs who you're dealing with, sir?
Oh, Nahid and the lady. Oh, Nahid. That's what I know.
Nahid's the person that.
Is it from the Megahertz studio? Yes.
No, it's not through the Megahertz.
No, it's from. No, it's a joint venture, but they have their own gaming studio.
We're
so what's the Megahertz studio for?
The Megahertz studio at the moment is just finished a prototype for the sandbox, and we are going to be developing land on the sandbox. And we're also, blockchain games that come to us that need assistance for whatever sort of developers. They will go to 1 megahertz. 1 megahertz will go and help them out or advise where they see fit. At the minute, the developers that we've got are just working on this concept we've got. For the sandbox, they're going to have a host of mini games on there. We're talking about building an education platform on the sandbox. So all positive stuff.
We're in talks with a few other metaverses to sort of build on there as well. So it might be almost seen as a bit of a metaverse builder. So depending on what other metaverses we can establish a good deal with, we'll build them there as well.
All right, interesting.
But we're getting offered loads of advisory positions at the minute, Colin, and we've got a good team, including yourself. When the right projects come along, people come to us, and they've basically just got the idea. They've got a
Who's one of the main people doing the advisory? Is it you?
Me, Simon, and we bring the games.
If it's Simon, then
yeah.
I know what the advice is. Don't buy, guys. The advice is don't buy.
Basically, no. I'm, for personally, it's terrible, but for other people, we always give the best advice. Always.
I'm sure if you talk to that many projects, of course, you got the best intel in the game.
The best intel, and luckily we have like a team.
You probably tell Andy what to say on these advisory calls.
Of course, listen, he's out of control. I have to hold him back. But no, we've got like great people on the team. Like whether it's Kareem and Sally who help us out with the in-game mechanics, advice on gameplay. We've got a couple of guys who are experts in tokenomics who will come in, give a complete overview. We've got a whole sort of team of with its wisdom and expertise to draw upon. So it's
Mirko. But when we get the games coming on board, Mirko's vision, especially with sort of infrastructure plays and sort of tech creation, like Mirko knows exactly what he wants. We're currently working on MetaMeet at the moment, which is going to be an unbelievable piece of tech because at the moment we are acting as we are being one of the best support network for all blockchain games that are coming through. You know, we're getting offered a lot of NFTs. We get offered a lot of stuff when they're coming up to IDO for marketing. You know, we'll have a look at their go-to-market strategy, their marketing strategy. Once we've created and built MetaMeet, you know, that's going to be like a social platform for everybody to come where they can talk about blockchain gaming.
That's the crypto Tinder.
It's going to have a Tinder function on there for all those that are single. You know, it's an icebreaker. What games you like to play? I think that's the best thing about it.
If anything, no, look, the Tinder function is not necessarily for people to meet each other.
So you've never been too good at dating. Yeah, let's have it right. Got girls and Simon. They're like, you know.
I just closed the deal. I mean, I'm not good at the opening a bit. You know what I mean? Andy does the opening a bit. I do the closing. Do you know what
I mean? Oh! That is definitely, yeah, that is the case now. I'm happily settled down. Yeah, so MetaMeet is going to be one to watch for the future, but Mirko's vision. And then when we get advisory positions that take that little bit extra, you know, we'll get our CEO to come on board. And he really does, you know, come up with a few good ideas that people take on board. We've got a huge partnerships team at the minute. Mark Brown, congratulations to you for now being head of partnerships. You know, he's an ex-City boy, but, you know, he understands. He's been a broker.
Where did he come from?
He was working on a huge commodities project before this, where he raised an awful lot of money, and he was, you know, at ground zero. I believe he was on that project from 2014 all the way up until, you know, they don't really need Mark on the job anymore. He still deals with a lot of clients, but I believe that project now, that's going to be listing sometimes this year. So yeah, we got the opportunity to take Mark beginning of the year. What he's done to the partnerships team has been truly amazing. So we've got a strong team all round, you know, nothing really gets past us at the minute. And then we'll go in there, see how we can support. And then, yeah, it works really well. I think at the minute with the guild model, the way it is, you know, there is no real play to earn games out there that even people in developing countries can really, you know, get a good living from. You know, if you're playing Axie Infinity, Cyborg, Star Sharks, and you're playing it full time every day, you know, a scholar can aim to earn what, $60 to $80 a month. It's still not really got any meat on the bone. No. So what we've decided to do is, you know, we've got 5 really great token utilities for UniX, either implemented now or will be this year, but we've got 5 good revenue streams. And one of them revenue streams now will be advisory, coming in, supporting, helping projects, taking a percentage of the circulating supply.
Well, basically be almost like be a full incubation that way.
Yeah, full incubation. And are you allowed to mention what we signed this week, Andy? Or is that still top secret?
A contract for an adult
movie.
movie.
Things this week. What one are you thinking? Yeah, guy on guy. Me and Si will be, yeah, we'll be featuring. What are you thinking about? Give me a clue.
Nah, probably the biggest thing signed this week. Web 2, Web 3.
Azure?
Yeah, we'll have to mention that. Yeah, we'll have to mention that.
Well, I don't know why not. Big shout out to Mike. So I'll just finish. So the advisory positions we get, we take total supplier tokens. We come in there. We're not building for the short term. This will be for the medium to long term. So we'll look at projects that we identify, you know, we'll get through this bear market and come out into the bull market, and we can really reap the benefits. And then a percentage of them tokens that we get will go into buying the UniX token. And then again, it's great for the UniX token holders. But we have just signed probably the biggest partnership that we've signed, other than when Simon got Crypto Banter at the launch, which will never be forgotten. Azure Games. So they're the 3rd biggest mobile publisher in the world, 3 billion downloads. Colin, Mike, their head of blockchain, is absolutely amazing. And yeah, don't ever go on a night out with him because he can drink like a fish. So can my CEO. And that normally, I just remembered coming round and I was talking to a midget at the Binance event. Do you remember that, Si?
I do. You was wrestling. I remember just seeing you wrestling.
Beat me up. He didn't wrestle. He beat me up. So yeah, Azure Games. You know, they're going to be bringing a lot of AAA. I know that gets thrown about a lot, but some of the games that they've got coming to market are huge. You know, hopefully, and I don't know if Mike's going to kill me here, but they're speaking to Binance and FTX about cherry picking the best project. So if that happens, final round already got a contract to launch all of them.
They're the 3rd biggest mobile publisher in the world, the army, and they can do anything. And they've got some unbelievable games coming. 1 or 2 that we've seen look amazing. So it's going to be big, huge move.
Hold on, this is
building in
Mirko.
the bear. Building in the bear. Our
That's
time's
it.
up, my friends. Mirko's calling.
Mirko's
Duties.
telling us off.
Duties.
Friday
Friday
that,
night,
Mirko?
guys, but I still got back-to-backs.
Tell Simon. Tell Simon not to come back on Monday. He spilled the beans too much. Okay, I'll tell him that. Okay. He said, "Yeah, don't bother showing up for work on Monday." So look, is he? I think he's either frozen or he's in shock. Si,
No.
are you with us?
Yeah, it's like his connection is bad. My connection is
Yo.
also really bad. It's like it's all fucked.
Hey, I'm here. Listen, guys, I've got to get back to this barbecue.
Yeah,
I've got to
yeah,
get back to
same.
my social occasions, all right?
Colin, I just want to say
Thank you.
shout
Thank
out
you.
to the Digits community. You truly have found a great leader in Colin, and we love him so much. He's one of our
100%.
best partners. He's
Thank you,
definitely going
gentlemen.
to the moon. Yeah, and you're going to
The
be
Spaghetti
seeing
Brothers are behind him.
Spaghetti Brothers and the Digits community.
Tattoo coming soon, incorporation.
Remember, if
100%.
Simon tells you to invest in anything, Colin, thank you very
We'll
much.
keep it in mind. Thanks,
Thank
guys,
you,
for being
guys.
here. I really appreciate it. Have a good evening. Enjoy your weekend. Have fun working like me.
See you soon.
Take care,
All
guys.
right. Cheers,
Bye-bye.
guys. Bye-bye. Bye.